Welcome, you guys. This is the first of a few videos. In fact, we're going to be talking about 4 videos. This one is called Creating Histograms. So I'm going to remind you today how to create histograms just in case you were absent or just need a little bit of reminding. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to find the data. And here is the data here. We have all of our numbers. You notice I'm not reading the question because I already know what it's asking. The question asks us to create a histogram using the data. So I don't really need to know what the data means yet. All I need to do is begin to classify this. So I see my 0 here. And the first thing that I want to do before I begin classifying my data, I need to make sure that I create a little chart, a table. So 0 to 9 is going to be the first item in my chart, which will be right here. So I'm going to create a little table, 0 to 9. The next interval that I want to go ahead and put on my table is 10 to 19. So that is going to go here. The next interval after that I want to put on my chart is 20 to 29. So that 20 to 29 is going to go right here in this third column. And the last one that I want to work with is 30 to 39. That is my last range, or my last frequency as we call it. And that last range or frequency is going to go here in the last column, 30 to 39. So the first thing I do is I want to create a table. So I'm going to write that down just so that you remember the steps. Create a table using the intervals, or also called the ranges. Both mean the same thing. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. The second thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to organize my data in the table. So first I create the table, then I'm going to organize the data in the table. So let's go ahead and get started. For instance, here is my 0. So I'm going to put it here in the 0 to 9 range. Here is my 5. It also goes in the 0 to 9 range. Then I have 39, so I have to find, okay, here it is right here. This column right here is where 39 would go, between 30 and 39. 29 would go in the 20 to 29 range, so I'm going to write it here. 0 would go over here in the 0 to 9 range. 30 would go in the 30 to 39 range. 14 would go here in the 10 to 19 range. 23 would go here in the 20 to 29 range. 25 goes in this interval, or this range right here, 20 to 29. And the last one is 22. It also goes in this range. So once I organize the data, the next step is to add, or I'm going to say, instead of add, let's say total the amount of numbers. So we're going to total the amount of numbers in each column. And I know my writing is horrible, so I apologize ahead of time. So I'm going to total these amount of numbers in each column. For instance, here in the first column we have 1, 2, 3 numbers. Here in the second column we have 1 number. In the third column we have 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers. And in the last column we have 2 numbers. So I am done with the first 3 steps. Now what I can do is, my last step is to graph the data using bars. And if you don't remember that vocabulary word, please make sure you're taking a look at your vocabulary on your vocabulary word wall in Unit 1 on our website. So I'm going to go ahead and scratch this out and write it where it's really supposed to be. 3 is supposed to go here, 4 at this line, and 5 at this line. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Our first set of data, it says graph the data using the bars. That looks like bays. Let's make it bars. So our first set of data is 3. So I'm literally going to go to 0 to 9, and I'm going to go up 3. So I'm going to create a bar that looks just like this. And I will color it in just because I like color and I like to make it look a little bit different than the other ones. So that is our first bar. Okay, now let's graph our second bar. Our second bar is 1, and it's in the range of 10 to 19. So here's 10 to 19, and I'm going to go up to 1. So I'm going to create a whole new bar here, and I'm going to go up to 1. Okay, let's make this look a little bit thicker. So again, I'm going to color it in. You don't have to, but I like to so that I can differentiate between the two types of bars, or the two ranges. Okay, and now my third bar. My third bar should be going up to 4 in the range of 20 to 29. So I'm going to go to this interval, 20 to 29, and I'm going to draw it all the way up to 4. And you notice that my bars are always touching. So again, we're going to color this so that we can differentiate between the different bars. We can see the difference. Okay, so there is my third bar. And then my last bar is in the range of 30 to 39, which makes sense. It's right here. And it's 2. So I'm going to go up to 2. So let's go ahead and draw this up to 2. And again, I'm going to color it so that you can see the difference between the bars. Now we can see a lot of information. We can definitely see, in this particular case, it's talking to us about how many students in our class look at TikTok. How often do they look at TikTok per day? So we can tell that most of our students, we have 4 students in the class that look at TikTok 20 to 29 times in one day. So that's a lot of students. I'm hoping you're not looking at TikTok during our class because you want to learn math during that time. Okay, so that is how you create a histogram.